Tom and Jerry takes place in New York City, where a recently hired event manager has to try to plan an elaborate wedding for a famous couple at the Royal Gates Hotel. But unbeknownst to her, Tom and Jerry decide to hash out their differences at this hotel, and their shenanigans can spell disaster for the upcoming wedding. This movie has a pretty star-studded cast. The event manager, or the main character, her name was Kayla, and she's played by Chloe Moretz. Another hotel manager is played by Michael Pena, and the executive chef is played by Ken Jeong. Everyone does a pretty good job in their roles, but Michael Pena in this film, he's a little bit of a jerk and a little bit of a mean guy.
You better hope this little cut plan works, because if it doesn't, I'll make sure you never work in New York City again.
And if you know anything about Michael Pena, in a lot of his films, he's actually a pretty likable character, a likable person. So, it felt a little bit like a miscast to really have him in that role. It was just kind of weird to see him play like the mean guy, or kind of like a jerk a little bit. Something that I liked about this film is the fact that it's pretty humorous. I mean, the humor in Tom and Jerry is pretty timeless. It doesn't matter how old you are. You're gonna laugh seeing Tom and Jerry fight.
Oh my gosh. Stop it! Both of you!
And there were even some times in this film where I genuinely laughed out loud at the chaos going on screen as Tom chases down Jerry and vice versa. Another thing that I like about this film is that it has a really nice central message that everyone can really get behind and resonates within all of us. That central message is truth and putting honesty before anything else. We can all get behind that, and I think it's a really nice takeaway from this film. Now, some things that I didn't like about this film. The first thing I don't really like about this film is Kayla, or Chloe Moretz's character. She's a little bit of an opportunistic and a kind of selfish teenager, which is actually a butt of a joke in this film when Michael Pena's character, Terrence, tells, Kayla, hey, you're one of those millennials who thinks they can get whatever they want with no effort at all, or not putting in any work.
You're one of those millennials that thinks they can get whatever they want, whenever they want, without working for it, preferably with free shipping.
And I was like, yeah, that's actually a pretty good description of, Kayla, or Chloe Moretz's character in this film, a little opportunistic, a little selfish, but she kind of grows on you a little bit. There is that character development by the time the movie credits roll around, and she kind of grows on you as a character. And in terms of the plot, it's a pretty straightforward plot. It's not up to the standard of a Disney movie, but it's pretty easy to follow. A little cliche a little bit, and at times you kind of just have to suspend your realm of belief because A, it's a children's movie. And B, it's like a children's movie. You can't be too critical in terms of the plot. But there are times where you just kind of sit back and you say, a reasonable person or rational person would actually act like that in that given situation. But again, suspend your realm of disbelief. It's a children's movie. Sit back, don't think too hard, and just enjoy it. If I had to rate this film 1 out of 10, I'd probably give it a 6.5. It's a good time. It's not an exceptional, crazy, great, Disney level movie. It's like Frozen or something like that, like Toy Story. But this is something that you could just kind of sit back, relax, family, and just watch. And plus, it's Tom and Jerry. Do I need to say more? It's a good time. Humorous, nice central message. Characters that kind of grow on you a little bit, pretty easy to follow storyline, a little cliche, but if you can get past that, it's a good time. So yeah, 6.5 out of 10. If you have seen the new Tom and Jerry movie, let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and subscribe here for more reviews in the future.